Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And today I want to go back in time to February 8th of this year. This was posted by McKinsey & Company, how Asian banks can regain the cross-border payments crown. What's very interesting about this, they mentioned one thing, all right? They mentioned the CPMI. What's the CPMI? This is the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures. And what they are saying here is one, competition has intensified due to a fast expanding regional economy, which has fueled e-commerce and boosted digital and financial inclusion. Digital commerce offers both C2B and B2C marketplace opportunities. Cross-border business in both areas is expected to grow by more than 12 to 15% a year over the next 5 years. Very interesting. They also do say that several geographies in Southeast Asia have become digital economy hotspots, with Indonesia likely to see a growth of 25% per year through 2025. We're going to come back to that. We do see international bodies are playing a role in disrupting the status quo. At the behest of the G20, the Financial Stability Board has partnered with the CPMI to boost competition in payments. Initiatives include global price targets for retail payments of 1% of transaction value and no corridor cost to exceed 3% by 2027. This is very interesting. They also mentioned the BIS. The Bank for International Settlements, meanwhile, has made proposals to cut costs, increase speed, and expand access to cross-border payment systems. Now, if you guys know me, then you obviously understand that when we look into this, we connect the dots. I want to continue on and just mention this one last sentence, and it's this one. In addition, central banks are looking to play a more active role in new payment infrastructures, often leveraging collaborative approaches. This takes me back to this, right? Ripple joins the BIS Cross-Border Payment Task Force. Why does it bring me back to this? We've brought this up multiple times on this channel. Well, because they're working with the CPMI. All right. The CPMI is crucial to note simply because we are seeing this here. On August 9th, the BIS shared a summary of its PI task force May 11th meeting. Now, this is Payments Interoperability and Extension Task Force, in which it says that the members of the task force will work to enhance cross-border payments and meet the quantitative targets for cross-border payments endorsed by the G20. They're working with the CPMI. And going back to this, we do see that their overall initiatives are to cut cost, increase speed, and expand access, aka inclusion, to cross-border payment systems. What this tells me is that we are going to be seeing new technologies, new payment infrastructures, new payment systems all being tapped in. And yes, that does include digital assets, DLT, blockchain. It's all at the forefront of this. Outside of this, we already know that Ripple has been working within the APAC region for a very, very long time. And going back to March of 2022, they were leading the way in instant payments. In fact, if we scroll down, we could actually see in recent years, APAC has grown to dominate the digital banking sector with 20% of approximately 250 digital banks worldwide based in the APAC region. We also do see that regional leaders to highlight include Singapore, ranked in the world's top 5 most competitive financial centers, which has enacted clear and effective governmental regulation and support of innovative payment technologies and achieved a 58% increase in instant payments in 2021. And the Philippines, which saw virtual currency transactions jump 71% from 2020 to 2021, substantially driven by new solutions like crypto-assisted remittances and digital payment options. And we already know that Ripple received a major license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. They are working with the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and we also know that the Philippines have been streamlining payments utilizing Ripple's solutions for a while now. We do see while instant payments are taking off faster in APAC than anywhere else, their success in the region is not guaranteed. Key contributing factors will include further blockchain and global banking platform adoption, as well as close collaborations between business and government, which we're already kind of starting to see. And I think that 2023 is kind of a confirmation that they would be, very, very successful in digital banking and things like that. Of course, they do also mention APIs. Down here, they do talk about RippleNet's APIs, which, fun fact, we are going to be talking about that here in a little bit. But yes, like as we look at the Asia Pacific area, they're a big player behind a lot of the digital asset adoption that we've seen so far. Like for example, here you guys have Asia Pacific. You also see the technology mix here. We also see the barriers to success and things like that. But outside of that, right, the CPMI. So there's two pages I want to go to, and I want to go to the CPMI overview from the BIS, and we do see that this is an international standard setting or setter that promotes, monitors, and makes recommendations about the safety and efficiency of payment, clearing, settlement, and related arrangements, thereby supporting financial stability and the wider economy. The CPMI also serves as a forum for central bank cooperation in related oversight, policy, and operational matters, including the provision of central bank services. And you do see down here, one, the CPMI charter, but then you also see the cross-border payments program. When we go to the cross-border payments program, which is, yes, the second one that I was talking about, we see a few things. Now, first, the G20 is instructing this. Enhancing cross-border payment speed and transparency while increasing access to cross-border payment services and reducing their cost. They are the key objectives of G20 cross-border payments program. Since the G20 leaders endorsed the roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments in 2020, much has been accomplished in laying the foundations through the necessary stock takes and analysis across all 19 building blocks. They lead the implementation of 11 of the 19 building blocks under the overall program. Now, mind you, right, what they are reaching in terms of an inflection point is moving to practical projects with a view to enhancing cross-border payment infrastructures and arrangements. And they are working with the FSB and partner bodies that will prioritize the future work towards three interconnected themes: payment system interoperability and extension, legal, regulatory, and supervisory frameworks, cross-border data exchange, and message standards. What's wild about all of this, and I've gone over this in the past, is that the FSB is working with the G20 and the IMF and the BIS on global crypto frameworks around regulations. They've also said by the end of 2025, we will see global crypto frameworks, or we will see global crypto regulations implemented, which means we will have regulations by the end of 2025. I expect that to happen sooner rather than later, but also the FSB with the IMF, with the BIS, with the G20, allowed Ripple to comment on those crypto frameworks around regulations in December of 2022, while they were in the middle of a lawsuit. So not only is Ripple already working with them on these frameworks and had the opportunity to comment on them, but now they are also working with them through the Cross-Border Payment Task Force. Tell me that makes sense to you guys. That we've seen 2.5 years of Ripple going into a lawsuit with the SEC while they were able to comment on regulatory frameworks, and now they're, joining the BIS right after the lawsuit around XRP. And tell me this is not all by plan. It's all by design, right? And Ripple's a key part of it. And yes, considering the fact that with cross-border payments and their solution around, Ripple, XRP is tied to this. Now, outside of this, we also seen this today. Experts predict that 80% of the payment volume worldwide will use ISO 20022 standards by 2025. This is a quote from an individual from Finastra against the background of current payment trends and Cybos, which starts today. What's interesting about this is over here within the article, we do see 2023, the era of instant payments. Global banks must turn to the latest technology. This is huge. Now, first and foremost, we know Finastra has been a huge leader around digital technology. We know that Finastra has been working with Ripple for a very long time. They've been utilizing their API cloud-based service, which that is crucial to note. Keep that in mind going forward on in this video. But we do see when it comes to payments, the need for speed underpinned by new industry regulatory and customer demands has put enormous pressures on banks to adapt. Consumers and businesses want instant, seamless payments to be sent and received whenever and however they choose. They want to be able to manage their cash flow in real time and receive funds even on a weekend or public holiday. You are not seeing this in the traditional world outside of crypto. We also do see experts predict that 80% of the payment volume worldwide will use ISO 20022 standards by 2025. Remember what I just said, at the end of 2025, we see crypto regulations. This new messaging standard is accelerating the adoption of instant payments as it is used for services such as the UK's new payments architecture MPA and the US's FedNow to support seamless transactions in real time. In Europe, the EU Commission has proposed a legislation that mandates all payment service providers to offer instant payments in euros at any time of the day, every day, using networks such as Target Instant Payment Settlement. Very interesting. We even see here, again, instant payment services in the APAC region are also accelerating. Guess who has been a leader behind APAC since 2022 and beforehand? Ripple. Make it make sense, right? Japan launched the world's first real-time payment network almost 50 years ago. Fast forward to today, countries like the Philippines, which has been a leader around on-demand liquidity corridors, which have significant unbanked and underbanked populations, are leapfrogging the card age and moving straight to digital wallets. Even more recently, the launch of the UPI Pay Now linkage enables users from India and Singapore to make and take payments instantly between both countries. And we also connected the dots with UPI Pay Now to Ripple in India. We do see instant payments bring new challenges. Obviously, they do talk about the challenges. We also do see enabling or embracing the new era of tech-driven payments. And guess what? This is where you see instant payments processing in the cloud. It enables banks to quickly transform and scale their operations to cope with increasing volumes and adapt to new customer regulatory and industry demand. Why is that a big thing to focus on? Well, this is all through APIs. It's all through APIs. They even talk about Finastra, which we know Finastra has been embracing Ripple's API cloud-based service forever. FedNow with Volante has been utilizing Ripple's cloud-based API service forever as well. This is huge to mention. And outside of this, August 15th, APIs revolutionize connectivity for financial institutions and set the stage for real-time payment success. Again, APIs are the big driver. And just like I said in a recent video, what APIs allow is for financial institutions to immediately tap into new age technologies and embrace the power behind them. It's a way for them to quickly go to market without changing any of the underlying infrastructure. They can easily plug and play into these major efficiencies or efficient networks and payment solutions, which means that RippleNet could be tapped in immediately. This allows for reduced project and run cost, increased scalability, enhanced resilience, achieve faster payments, meet the demand as well, and even greater transparency. It's a big thing. This is a big thing. And sorry about that. And when we go over here to, this is January 22nd, 2020, Ripple, what, how, and where? Well, if you scroll all the way down, about roughly 3/4 of the way down in this article, we do see a little bit of a way of how all of this could be working. Where you see apps and services, this is exchanges, wallets, explorers, you have middleware, APIs. APIs are the key. You can see the entire process down here. You also see Ripple Connect, which I do have this image open over here. Kind of the same exact thing. This is just a more updated version of it. We do see APIs at the center point up there in the left and the top right. You also have the banks on each side. You have the accounts. You have the sender receiver info, fees, transaction instructions, the query quote, settlement notification, the Ripple network, order submission, settlement notification, Ripple stream, net fix API, trading client, and the market makers. Again, really kind of just sharing with you guys the full-on implementation around this. Now, outside of this, as we do see the demand for faster payments, we also know that the US Faster Payments Council back in July spotlighted Ripple's solution for cross border payments. This was a big one, considering the fact that we know that the US Faster Payments Council has been a major driver behind the FedNow service and many other things around the US Faster Payment Solutions. We even see down here the Faster Payment Council document, which does spotlight XRP. It emphasizes speed, cost, ubiquity, transparency, and risk. Really kind of talking about cross-border transactions. Remember, FedNow is domestic at first, not international, so the need for cross-border payment solutions is not yet there until they do have heavily, tested. They heavily tested the actual solution, and in general, when we really kind of look at those that spotlighted Ripple's solution, we know that the IMF, the World Bank, I mean, hell, even the BIS at this point has spotlighted Ripple and XRP. So to me personally, I think that Ripple and XRP are pretty big names at this point in the financial world. They've always been, right? But outside of this, when you look at the Faster Payments Council, really kind of just breaking these organizations down, we do see the Faster Payments Council is an industry-led membership organization whose vision is world-class payment system where Americans can safely and securely pay anyone, anywhere, at any time, and with near immediate funds availability. By design, they encourage a diverse range of perspectives and is open to all stakeholders in the U.S. payment system, guided by principles of fairness, inclusiveness, flexibility, and transparency. The FPC uses collaborative problem-solving approaches to resolve the issues that are inhibiting broad, faster payment adoption in this country. And again, this is why I say focus on the best-in-class technology, because that's what we are seeing them look into. And remember the cloud and API solution that I talked about, because here you guys have April 14th of this year. Banks look to the cloud to deliver real-time payment speed and security. I bring this up, and again, a lot of people are like, well, why even talk about APIs? Like, APIs are not new, right? Like, this is application programming interfaces, that they're not new. They've been around for a while. I bring them up because when you tie this to very efficient payment solutions, especially with even cloud-based API solutions, you really do have a recipe for incredible opportunity. That is, of course, if they are realized, right? Because I think at this current moment in time, like, demands are at an all-time high. Like, when you walk into a bank, it is a horrible experience. Go into a bank and try to write a check, right? It's going to take you a while, maybe even get a deposit, maybe even get a withdrawal, right? It's horrible. It's a terrible experience. The whole waiting in line, this, that. Like, at the end of the day, going into a bank, you're guaranteed to waste 10 minutes of your time. So as we really kind of look at things, like, things should be a lot faster. Payments should be a lot cheaper. They should be a lot faster. They should settle immediately. But we don't have that, right? Like, we have faster payments. We don't have faster settlement. So when we look at APIs and when we look at what's offered around the space, the value is already there. We're just waiting, essentially. And even when we look at RippleNet, right? Like, we know that RippleNet is in the cloud. We know Finastra is already working with Ripple and RippleNet. They have RippleNet Cloud in their system. This is the Finastra Ripple connectivity. And outside of this, we also know back in, I believe, 2021, January 26, 2021, we do see Lulu Exchange. We are proud to announce our partnership with Ripple and Federal Bank to enhance real-time payments from the UAE to India that are faster and more affordable than ever before. Step into any of our 76 branches in the UAE or call to know more. And here you guys have the overall announcement of this and money faster from UAE to India with our enhanced real-time payment service. And guess what? Over here from Ripple themselves, well, through RippleNet Cloud, Lulu Exchange and Federal Bank are transforming the cross-border payments experience from UAE to India. And again, this is immediate. They didn't have to change anything around their service offering. They didn't have to change their underlying technology class. They didn't have to do anything like that because they are utilizing the RippleNet Cloud API. They're tapping into it immediately. And this could be realized right now. But we aren't seeing that. We're waiting. Because I personally think, and a lot of people will say that I'm crazy, but I personally believe in the flip the switch moment, right? I really do. And I think that that's going to be the case where we actually have regulations, we actually have things in place, we're ready to go live. We'll most likely see a reset, a restructuring of our global financial system, and that's where we will see APIs, digital assets, DLT, blockchain really kind of realized in. And remember, right, like APIs have been around forever. It's not just, exclusive to blockchain or anything like that. But I'm talking about the API technology within this space. And we've even seen the BIS working with Quant recently with the Bank of England on API connectivity and API use cases around CBDCs. I think that that's becoming the standard. And I think that Ripple is at the forefront of this. I think that that's exactly why they joined the BIS. I think that the CPMI definitely should be looked at. I think that this is a group and association that is behind a lot of what we are seeing right now. And as we really kind of look at payments and settlement and things like that, things are changing. Things are changing rapidly. And I love to see Ripple really kind of being connected to most of this, or at least from what I've seen, almost all of it. I know that that's crazy to say, but listen, if we connect all the dots, it's definitely getting interesting. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm a free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.